The landscape of international trade shifted dramatically when Donald Trump initiated a trade war that would reverberate across the globe. It began with a bold proclamation: high import tariffs on several countries, most notably China, the European Union, Japan, South Korea, and Vietnam. The strategy was clear: revive American industry by leveling the playing field, which Trump argued had long been skewed by unfair international practices. He believed that the American worker had been left vulnerable, and that it was time to take a stand. China, the largest target of these tariffs, faced a staggering increase in its tariff rate from 34% to an unprecedented 104%. The Chinese government, recognizing the threat to its economic stability, braced itself for a fierce response, preparing countermeasures to protect its national interests. The implications of such an aggressive tariff were not lost on the global community. As tensions mounted, fears of a protracted trade conflict began to loom large, casting a shadow over the already delicate economic landscape. The European Union, not one to sit idly by, retaliated with its own set of tariffs, imposing a 20% charge on a range of American goods. This move escalated the situation, raising concerns about trade disruptions that could lead to significant economic losses on both sides of the Atlantic. Japan, feeling the pinch with a 24% tariff, saw its exports to the United States dwindle, while South Korea grappled with a 25% tariff that strained its once strong trade relations. Meanwhile, Vietnam, a rising star in the global market, found itself reeling under a 46% tariff, threatening to disrupt its burgeoning economy and stifling the growth it had so diligently cultivated. As these tariffs took hold, the global economic impact became glaringly evident. Analysts warned of an impending economic slowdown as higher tariffs began to erode international trade volumes. Inflation crept into everyday life, and growth in both developed and developing nations slowed. The financial markets responded with volatility. The Dow Jones Index, once a beacon of American economic strength, experienced sharp declines, mirroring downturns in major Asian and European markets. The specter of a global recession loomed, as the interconnectedness of economies meant that no nation could escape the fallout of this trade war unscathed. Within the United States, the narrative was complex. While the intention behind Trump's protectionist policy was to bolster domestic industry, the repercussions for American consumers were immediate and stark. Prices for imported goods began to rise, placing a heavier burden on families already grappling with economic uncertainties. The trade war introduced substantial risks, not only from potential retaliation by affected countries, but also from the insidious creep of inflation that threatened to erode purchasing power. The ramifications extended beyond mere economics. The trade war posed a significant threat to the global trading system, raising fears of a broader economic crisis that could spiral out of control. Socially, the consequences were dire. As prices rose and job losses mounted, issues of income inequality and unemployment deepened, creating a volatile environment ripe for unrest. As the dust settled, it became clear that Trump's trade war had ignited a wave of uncertainty and volatility within the global economy. The far-reaching consequences impacted countless countries, industries, and individuals, leaving a complex legacy that would be felt for years to come. The world watched as nations navigated the turbulent waters of trade relations, hoping for resolution but bracing for the possibility of continued conflict. In this new era of protectionism, the stakes were high and the outcomes uncertain, as the global community grappled with the realities of a trade war that had changed the game forever.